Are you angry over the Switch 2 prices? Cause I am too. We're gonna talk all about it, including what you can do to make a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Skyrise, your early morning show where we talk all things gaming. I'm your host, Skytune, and here's the breakdown for today. We'll be going over what we learned from the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, character conundrum, Twitch top 5, which games I'm hyped for and why, Pokepools, what I'm playing, of course, the Switch 2 pricing problem, questions from Patreon supporters, and shoutouts. So without further ado, let's get started, because this is going to be a very, very long episode. Nintendo hosted their long-awaited Switch 2 Direct. It was an hour long and packed with info, so we're going to go over it. They showed a bunch of games, which you can check out my reaction video if you'd like, but more importantly, what the console does. Remember that mysterious C button? Well, it stands for Game Chat, and it's basically Discord. You'll be able to join and leave calls, mute your mic, or share your screen with friends, even if everyone's playing different games. You can expand their screens too, and watch a bigger version of what they're playing. What's really neat is they'll be able to hear you clearly through the small mic on the top of the Switch, even if you're far away or in a noisy environment. There's actually one more feature we can't forget about, and that's turning your camera on and off. You heard that right. With the Nintendo Switch 2 camera, you'll be able to see your friends' faces displayed over whichever game they're playing. No green screens necessary. Some games will even allow you to appear in the game as long as you have this accessory. A quick side note is that the company Hori is making a Piranha Plant version of the camera for $20 less. So you might want to check that out because it looks pretty cool. Long story short, this is Nintendo's solution to best make you feel as if the friends and family you're talking to are in the same room with you. Do I see much use for this as a Twitch streamer who can very easily Discord call my friends and already physically appear on the screen? No. Is it great for little kids who live far away from each other and don't have phones to FaceTime with yet? You bet it is. They also showed off Game Share. If a friend owns any type of Switch, but not the same game as you, you'll be able to temporarily share yours with them. A game can be shared locally with up to 3 people at once. It can only be used with compatible games, starting with Clubhouse Games 51. Now, here's the differences from the original Switch. Hang on, cause this is a lot. Screen size is going from 6.2 inches to 7.9. The thickness is exactly the same. For its high definition display, it'll go from a quality of 720p to 1080p in handheld or tabletop modes. The FPS, or frames per second, aka smoother gameplay, will go from 60 FPS to 120. It has an LCD screen with HDR support, which is fancy talk for the games look brighter and prettier. The Joy-Con 2 obviously attach magnetically versus how you used to slide the original Joy-Con into the rails. The control sticks are bigger, as well as the SL and SR buttons used for playing with one Joy-Con, and both controllers will be able to be used as mice. Granted, the game you're playing supports mouse controls. Audio coming from the speakers have been improved, giving a clearer sound, and as I said earlier, there's a built-in mic on the top which can filter out sounds around you during voice chat sessions. The stand will also be adjustable for tabletop mode, and there's now 2 USB-C ports. You can charge the console with either the top or the bottom, and the new camera can be connected via the top port. The original Switch came with 32 gigabytes of storage, and the Switch 2 will have 256. Of course, Nintendo made a new dock as well. This one can support up to 4K versus the previous 1080p quality, and has a new ventilation system to resist overheating. The console is backwards compatible, so you'll be able to play most physical and digital Switch 1 games on the Switch 2. You can transfer all digital games and save data as well. Game cartridges will be colored red to easily spot the difference. And finally, only microSD express cards will be compatible for extra storage. If you thought that was a lot, there's 3 types of games. The first is Nintendo Switch 2 games, which will take advantage of all the performance features we just ran through. The second is compatible games previously released on the Nintendo Switch. And the third is Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games. These are select Switch 1 titles that will be getting paid upgraded versions on the Switch 2, like enhanced graphics and other features exclusive to it. I'm not gonna lie, so far I'm not a fan of these upgraded versions. Some games like Kirby and the Forgotten Land will receive an added story, and others like Zelda Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom will offer map quest. Like, Siri legit tells you where to go if you can't find something through the Nintendo app on your phone. If you don't own the game already, the enhanced versions will be available digitally and physically. But if you do own the games, you'll be able to buy an upgrade pack. The price I'm not positive on, because Nintendo didn't say anything, but I've heard rumors it'll be anywhere from $15 to $20. Some games, like Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, will have a Switch 1 version and a Switch 2 version, but you'll obviously not be able to use the mouse feature or have the enhanced graphics if you're playing on the Switch 1. Before we jump into Character Conundrum, here's a look at the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller. It has the new C button for game chat, 2 brand new buttons on the back called GR and GL, which can be used to assign existing button controls. So for example, if you'd like your character's jump button to be GR instead of A, you can format the layout to be that way. And an audio jack to plug in headphones. We'll be talking about the games and pricing upset, but let's take a break to play Character Conundrum. It's simple. Be the first to guess the character correctly, get a shout out. Congrats to Patty Pancakes, who said snake. That was correctamundo. This week, here's your hints. This character is an astronaut. Their favorite color is red, and they have hundreds of friends who will listen to anything they say. Who could this be? Comment down below and find out next week. Before we get back to the main discussion, we have to talk about the Twitch Top 5. These are the top 5 clips of the week, chosen by our incredible Patreon community members. Without further ado, coming in at number 5. I got my 50 million.
50 million.
50 milli hype. Just go, just go, just go, just go, just go. Just go, 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 just go. Oh. Oh no, I thought we made it. Why is that so easy to make the jump now that that's
because we got used to it. That's where we're struggling.
Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on!
Okay, let's go.
Alright.
Oh, hell
wait,
no.
wait. That sucks. That really sucks. Install! 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 Don't shoot me! Yes! Get lost! Oh my god, I said that. I said it was gonna be possible. Let's go.
I can see
That was
the
a
little.
good strategy. Like,
Oh my gosh.
So be careful.
to me with my green belt.
Oh my gosh, wait a second.
It's a,
Wait, that's awesome.
okay.
A Donkey Kong level.
Yeah.
If you ever have free time and want to hang out, come on over to Twitch. You can see these moments live and join in on the fun of the Nintendo Switch 2 in a few months. Anyway, back to the topic of Switch 2. Nintendo showed off around 20 games, and since we don't have time for all of that, here's the ones that stood out to me. The first was Mario Kart World, and when I tell you I got hyped, that might be an understatement. I've been a huge fan of Mario Kart ever since the Wii, and the fact that we've been stuck with Mario Kart 8 for over a decade makes me so excited for this new one. The expressiveness from the characters reminds me of Mario Wonder, so things aren't as dull anymore. They brought back and added some new items, some with new animations. There's 24 racers versus the previous 12. Almost every track and vehicle is new. Characters from other Mario games got added. There's outfits for alternate versions of players. You can wall jump in your cart, as well as rail grind. There's the freaking cow from Moo Moo Meadows. Oh my god, I'm so happy. It's suddenly okay that we've had to wait this long for a new game. Grand Prix is still the same, but what's so cool is once your race is done, you don't have to wait on a loading screen for the next race anymore. Instead, you can physically drive to your next location. I will say, I don't love the fact that 2 laps happen before you even get to your destination, but looking at it from another angle, it is less repetitive than going around the same course 3 times. Then there's this mode called Knockout Tour, where instead of picking a cup, you race from one end of the map to the other without stopping. You'll pass through checkpoints, and if you're under the required placement, you'll be eliminated. It's such a neat concept. Let's say you need to be in the top 8, and you get 9th place, you're out. That's it. I think the best new addition to Mario Kart is the free roam. You're no longer stuck in the confines of the track. You can go off-roading and explore wherever you'd like. Friends can join you in this mode and race around with you without the pressure of trying to get first. And there's a photo mode too. Nintendo's hosting a Mario Kart World Nintendo Direct on April 17th, so absolutely stay tuned for updates on this game. I love everything about it. I'm slightly curious why they're showing so much, but it's probably really to just sell the game, since it's gonna be a launch title anyway. Another game I couldn't be more excited for is Donkey Kong Bananza. We haven't had an open world DK game since Donkey Kong 64 in 1999. I wasn't even born yet, so the only DK games I've played are the side-scrolling ones like Country Returns and Tropical Freeze. Just like Mario Kart World, this version of Donkey Kong has the same new design and expressiveness. It looks fun. He just goes around destroying everything he sees. Who doesn't want a game like that? There's a bunch of new enemies and a sidekick type character named Oddrock. It'll be neat to find hidden secrets and different ways to get around. Definitely a game that's high on my list. It'll be out on July 17th, a little over a month after launch. Then they showed off Kirby Air Riders. There wasn't any gameplay, but it was revealed as the top secret game Sakurai, aka the developer of Smash Bros, has secretly been working on. It's a follow-up to Kirby Air Ride, which was previously released on the GameCube. I actually got faked out at the very beginning, because Kirby's design had a Smash Bros look to it at first. We don't know when the game's gonna be out, but it will be later this year. Next was Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. And as soon as I saw the Koei Tecmo logo, I knew what was coming. This will basically be exactly like the previous Hyrule Warriors games, but closer to how Age of Calamity showed the events before Breath of the Wild. This one will show the events leading up to the imprisoning war of Tears of the Kingdom. I'll be very interested to see how this goes lore-wise. Also, I have to say, that is so messed up to show the cutscene that totally looked like Zelda could be playable in an open world setting like the modern Zelda games. They got me. They got me with that one. The game is coming this winter. Okay, so the power of the Switch is crazy, but what's even crazier is Elden Ring will be able to run on it later this year. For those that don't understand the impressiveness of this, just know that Elden Ring is a massive open world game that was only for next-gen consoles when it released in 2022. It had no way of running on the Switch without the console probably blowing up, so this is huge. From Software, who's the company that makes Elden Ring, is now going to bring a new Souls-like game exclusively to the Nintendo Switch 2, called the Duskbloods. It'll launch in 2026 and be a vampire-type game with a lot of the same gameplay mechanics as Elden Ring, but obviously a completely different world and story entirely. I need to know a lot more about it, but hearing that for the time being, no other consoles will be able to play it makes me very curious. Does anybody remember ARMS? Well, now we have legs. Or lack of. This is Drag and Drive, a 3-on-3 basketball game where you're in wheelchairs. The entire game is surrounded around the mouse controls, just like how in ARMS you could use the Joy-Con to punch. This is Nintendo's big, exciting, here's what the controllers can really do type of game. I never mentioned this, but you can use the Joy-Con as mice on any surface. Tables, your pants, anything. I don't see this game blowing up necessarily. I feel like ARMS had more personality than robots shooting three-pointers in wheelchairs. But I'll for sure be playing this game just for the experience, and it is launching this summer. And the last title before we play another game, and I'll tell you what I'm personally playing at the moment, we've got Nintendo introducing a game called Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. Think of 1-2 Switch, but with all the fun removed. I'm not kidding. This game, shown more effectively at the Nintendo Treehouse Live, is no different than Ball Count, where you had to see how many balls were inside the controller based on HD Rumble. Or this other game, shown off, that uses HD Rumble as well, and is no different than Safecrack, where there's one area with a stronger vibration. In Welcome Tour, you walk around on this giant Nintendo Switch 2, talking to people with no faces who teach you information regarding the console itself. Later on, they'll have you take a quiz based on what you've learned. What is this, school? Are you still not hooked? It would be great if you could try out this tech demo and some of its minigames automatically, but first, you have to pay for it. Yes, this is not a free game. They didn't even tell us the price, but it's rumored to be around $6 or $7 and be playable at launch. Stick around, because the most important part of this entire video is coming up. But we have to switch over real quick to Poke Pools. The first comment I saw said to open a Shining Revelry pack, so let's do it. Comment which pack we open next week. Alrighty, here is the pack. Go ahead and open it, and we will randomly spin, see what we land on. And it is this one. Alright, swipe it. We got Ekans, another one, Tentacool, and Wigglytuff, and Arbok, which is new for me. We'll get back into our discussion, but with all that talk about games, I want to share what I've been playing. Last week, I talked about being stuck in this sewer area while playing A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead. Not only did I get out, but I also completed the game. To me, it wasn't very scary, but the entire 11 hours of my playthrough, having to only whisper, was definitely something different. There were these high action moments in the game where I was more than capable of speaking normally, yet I still found myself whispering to the very end. I'm glad the game is over, but now I need to find more spooky games to play for Mondays. Another game I've been playing, which I'm not even sure if I've brought up during the Skyrise yet, was Split Fiction. I teamed up with my good friend Night Sky, and we got through the game together while even platinuming it by the end. I'd highly recommend grabbing a friend and playing this game. The story is incredible, and there's so many different games almost thrown into one, with lots of playstyles depending on where you are in the game. If you need to convince your friend to play, let them know that only one of you needs to buy the game, and the other can join on any console they'd like with the free Friends Pass. If GTA 6 doesn't release this year, I could 100% see Split Fiction taking Game of the Year. As of right now, it has my vote. Be on the lookout for more game updates from me, but let's get into the most crucial part of this video. Did you notice how I never said a single solidified price of any product during the entirety of this video? Neither did Nintendo. The Switch 2 is launching on June 5th for They didn't tell us the price. Not at the beginning of the Nintendo Direct, not at the end. You can scroll all the way down past all the moving information on Nintendo's website, and it still won't tell you the price of the console. So I'll tell you. It'll cost $450 US, or if you want the digital-only Mario Kart World bundle, it'll be $500. I love Nintendo, and that's obvious. I've been non-stop talking about the Switch 2 since we knew of its existence as the successor to the Nintendo Switch back on May 7th, 2024. However, I don't agree with what they're attempting to do. As I said, they purposely did not show the price at all during their hour-long Nintendo Direct. Was it to get us attached to the features and power of the system before we freaked out about the price? Maybe. I think $450 is still a great price. $50 more than what I originally was thinking, but still slightly less than a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X. The biggest problem lies not in the console price, but the games. I don't care if you're a digital or physical gamer, paying $80 digitally and $90 physically per game is absurd. After tax, that's over $100 for a single game. Now, forget I said any of that. Are you confused? You should be. Someone went around the internet spreading false information. Games will not be $90. It says once again after you scroll all the way past the moving sections of Nintendo's website in the Donkey Kong part of the page, $69.99. Then if we do the exact same thing for Mario Kart, it says $79.99. What I'm thinking about is the rage that Nintendo fans had over Zelda Tears of the Kingdom being priced at $70, which was $10 more than a typical Switch game. Nintendo found it appropriate at the time, given the amount of content the player would receive. So, I'm over here hoping that a typical Nintendo Switch 2 game will cost $70, and the occasional rare higher priced title will be $80. The reason I'm okay with $70 is because that's already how much a first-party PlayStation 5 game costs. It's also only $10 more than the previous $60 Switch games. Now, $80 on a regular basis is ridiculous. It's so ridiculous that the whole time during Nintendo Treehouse Live, which were back-to-back live streams showing off gameplay from the newly announced games the day after the Nintendo Direct, had fans in the chat spamming drop the price in all caps for the entire 4 hours on the first day and the entire 3 hours on the second day. People are outraged, and it's for a good reason. Look at Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, the tech demo that you have to pay for. Sony had a tech demo too. It's called Astro's Playroom, and you got that for free since you bought their $500 console. It even provided 6+ hours of entertaining content with a story and everything. So what the heck, Nintendo? Not to mention that new C button on the controller, yeah, it only works if you pay. It says here on the Nintendo website, Game Chat Open Access Period. Until March 31st, 2026, Game Chat can be used without a Nintendo Switch Online membership. Afterwards, a Nintendo Switch Online membership will be required to use Game Chat. Never in my life did I think that they would add a new button on a controller that you can't use unless you pay for it. Do you have any idea how wrong that is? They've got the C button on the new Joy-Con, the new Pro controller, even the new wireless GameCube controller. Oh yeah, GameCube games are coming to Switch Online. I forgot to mention that. Yet, to even use the button, you are forced to pay. Look at gold points. They were used to get a couple bucks off of a game. Did it help a ton? Not really, but it was something. They got rid of that a few weeks ago. It's a company, they're money hungry. But this is crazy. I saw somebody saying that if Nintendo has Mario Kart World be priced the way it is at $80, but give us free DLC in the future, that would justify the price. But if we have to pay for another piece of content in several years, that's even worse. Here's what I have to say on this matter. I truly believe, if not before launch, give it a year, and Nintendo will bring the prices down. They're very strict, seeing that their games never go on sale, and the Switch 1 has stayed at $300 for the past 8 years. This isn't the same as Pokemon fans saying, oh, I'm not gonna buy this game, and maybe they'll make it higher quality if I don't buy it, and then going back on their word and feeding into the hype and saying, oh no, just kidding, I'm gonna buy it anyway. It's not like that. It's that example versus the people that legitimately cannot pay that price. Not everyone has $80. Those who don't have that kind of money can't backtrack later at all. For them, it's more so they won't be paying anything because they can't. Then, due to the price causing that result, maybe Nintendo will see that their biggest way of generating income, aka software, the games themselves, isn't working and will decrease the price. That's what I have to say on the matter, but the world is a crazy place right now, so we'll just have to wait for some sort of statement from Nintendo themselves. For now, it's only been radio silence, so we don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. In my eyes, this is like a speedrun to going broke. If you'd like to do something about it, you'll find a link in the description where you can sign a petition to lower the prices. There's no questions this week, so let's end things off with shoutouts from our Patreon supporters. The Solar Superstars are the top of the top, so shout out to Ollie, Sir Squiddy the 8th, and hi, I am alive. And of course, a shout out to our elevated heroes, Meep and Matthew2EK. I'd love for some sort of discussion in the comments on what your thoughts are on all of this. I'm gonna be honest, this video was a nightmare to create due to the confusion these past few days with the pricing, and Nintendo didn't exactly explain details easily during the Direct, so I hope you enjoyed what I had to share. If you did find episode 13 of the Skyrise interesting or informative, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and check out the Patreon for a ton of awesome benefits. It's a great way to show your support even further and keep this series going. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.